Unit 1, Recording 1. 1.
I've put Briar Farm for this one because that was the name of the farm that my aunt and uncle used to own. My mum and my sister and I, we used to go there every summer for our holidays. I absolutely loved it, all the animals and going on the tractor with my uncle and stuff like that. It was just a really special place for me.
2.
There isn't really any day of the week that I don't like, but I hate mornings. Oh, getting up first thing in the morning. I'm just not a morning person at all. It's a bit of a problem at the moment because I'm a hairdresser and I do a lot of work for TV and stuff. And normally it's fine because I work on programmes that start late, so I get up quite late. But at the moment I'm working on a film and I have to be there really, really early. I'm getting up at about 5 and it's killing me. I mean, the work itself is really interesting, but I just feel so horrible at that time of the morning.
3.
For this one, I've written Kathy. I met her when we were both working for this really awful boss. She was just the most horrible, nasty woman, and it was my first job. But I think Kathy had had a few different jobs before that. Anyway, we became very close because we both hated this boss so much. We used to go out for coffee together and compare all the awful things she'd said to us. We were really good friends for a couple of years. We even went on holiday together once. But I haven't seen her for 3 or 4 years. I don't know why, really. We didn't fall out or anything, but somehow we've lost touch.
4.
Let me see. I remember the house where I was born was quite small, but it had a big garden. My parents had bought the house from an old man, and he'd built this amazing pond at the bottom of the garden. That's one of my earliest memories, really. I used to spend hours staring at the fish in this pond. I found them fascinating. It was probably quite dangerous, the pond, but no one seemed to worry very much. I think we lived there for about 5 years, and then we moved in about 1993, I think it was.
5.
Someone I've met quite recently is Emma. I've only known her for about 6 months. I met her at my exercise class, as it happens. We were standing next to each other and we just started talking. It's quite a coincidence, really, because obviously my name's Emma too, and my boyfriend's name is Johnny, and her husband's called John, or Johnny. We've all been out together a couple of times and it gets really confusing.
6.
Can't think of anything really for this one. Oh, I know. My cousin and his wife have had a baby. I think it was born about 3 weeks ago. A girl, I think. I don't remember its name. I'm not really into babies myself, but it looks quite sweet in the photo on Facebook.
Unit 1, Recording 2. 1.
We used to go there every summer for our holidays. I absolutely loved it.
2.
Normally it's fine because I work on programmes that start late, but at the moment I'm working on a film.
3.
It was my first job, but I think Kathy had had a few different jobs before that.
4.
I haven't seen her for 3 or 4 years.
5.
Somehow we've lost touch.
6.
I think we lived there for about 5 years.
7.
We were standing next to each other and we just started talking.
8.
It looks quite sweet in the photo on Facebook.
Unit 1, Recording 3.
Alec Weck is one of the world's most popular models. She has appeared in catwalk shows, high-profile advertising campaigns, and on the cover of Vogue magazine. Her life, however, hasn't been easy. Alec was born into a poor family in Sudan in 1977, the 7th of 9 children. In 1983, civil war broke out. Alec used to play out in the streets, but it got too dangerous to go out. In the end, Alec's family decided to leave their town and walk south. Eventually, the family ended up in Khartoum, the capital of Sudan. Unfortunately, in Khartoum, Alec's father died. Many years before, he had had an operation on his hip, and during their long walk, it got badly infected. In 1991, Alec and her younger sister moved to the UK. Their older sister had moved there 3 years earlier, and later their mother joined them. In 1995, Alec was shopping at a market in London when a modelling scout approached her, and against her mother's advice, 18-year-old Alec decided to become a model. It was the right decision. She has been a top model for over 15 years. She also designs handbags and has written an autobiography called Alec. However, these days she is spending more and more time working for charities to help Africa, like the Refugee Council. In the 1990s, Alec Weck was changing the stereotype of how a model should look. Now, she is changing the stereotype of how a model should behave.
Unit 1, Recording 4.
And everything's still going well with Ben? You two still madly in love?
Yeah. Well, I need to talk to you about it sometime.
Why? What's wrong?
No, there's nothing wrong as such. It's just, we get on really well and everything, but I don't know. I don't think it's going anywhere. I just can't see us together in a few years' time.
No?
Not really, no. I just don't think we really want the same things. He's perfectly happy living here, doing the same things, seeing the same people, and, well, you know me, I've got so many plans and things I want to do.
And you don't think he's interested?
He says he is, but sometimes I think he's just telling me what I want to hear.
Do you?
And what's the point of staying together if you don't think there's any future?
Poor Ben.
I know. I do love him, and we do have a good time. I don't know. You won't say anything to anyone, will you? Because I really haven't decided what to do.
No, of course not. I wouldn't dream of it. You know you can trust me. I wouldn't say anything to anybody.
Unit 1, Recording 5.
So, have you seen Ben and Maz at all?
Yes, I have actually. I had coffee with Maz the other day.
Yeah? Everything okay?
Yeah.
You don't sound very sure.
No. Well, don't whatever you do mention this to Ben, will you?
No. What?
Only, I think she's going to finish with him.
You're not serious. He'll be devastated.
Well, they are very different people. She's always been super ambitious and super dynamic, and he's easygoing, happy with things the way they are. At the end of the day, she doesn't think they really have that much in common.
Poor Ben. So what exactly did she say?
I don't really know if I should say anything more. You must promise you won't say a word to him.
No, I promise. But you've got to tell me the whole story now you've started.
Well, what she told me was that she wasn't really sure that she wanted to go out with him anymore.
Unit 1, Recording 6.
So, everything all right, mate? Maz okay?
Yeah, great. She's studying like crazy as usual, but no, everything's good.
Good.
Actually, I'm planning a bit of a surprise for her.
Oh, are you? What's that then?
Well, you know how she loves the sun? Well, I'm going to book this big holiday in the sun for us both, for when she finishes her exams next summer. 2 weeks on a Greek island. She's going to love it. But it's a complete surprise, so don't say a word to her.
Are you sure Maz likes surprises? Don't you think you should, ask her where she wants to go? It's going to cost you a fortune, isn't it?
Oh, she'll like this. I know she will.
'Cause, she does have strong opinions about what she likes, doesn't she?
Nah, mate, it's cool. You don't know her like I do. She'll love it.
I don't know. I think it's a bit of a risk. If it was me, I'd definitely ask her before I booked it.
Hey, you're just not romantic like me, are you?
And also she might make other plans. Things that she can't, change and then she might not be able to go.
Nah, trust me. It'll be fine.
Unit 1, Recording 7. 1.
You don't think he's interested?
He says he is.
2.
I do love him and we do have a good time together.
3.
You won't say anything to anyone, will you?
4.
Have you seen Ben and Maz at all?
Yes, I have actually.
5.
I'm planning a bit of a surprise for her.
Oh, are you?
6.
It's going to cost you a fortune, isn't it?
7.
She'll like this. I know she will.
Unit 1, Recording 8. 1.
I've got some really interesting news. Do you want to hear it?
2.
John, you're not listening to me, are you?
3.
Was the party good on Saturday night?
4.
Have you heard? Annie and Phil have got engaged.
5.
We had a terrible journey home last night. We were nearly 2 hours late.
6.
I know you don't believe me.
7.
Listen, the neighbours are having an argument. Can you hear what they're saying?
8.
You didn't tell me you were moving house.
Unit 1, Recording 9. 1.
I've got some really interesting news. Do you want to hear it?
Of course I do.
2.
John, you're not listening to me, are you?
I am listening, darling.
3.
Was the party good on Saturday night?
No, to be honest, it wasn't.
4.
Have you heard? Annie and Phil have got engaged.
Really? Have they?
5.
We had a terrible journey home last night. We were nearly 2 hours late.
Oh no, were you?
6.
I know you don't believe me.
I do believe you.
7.
Listen, the neighbours are having an argument. Can you hear what they're saying?
No, I can't.
8.
You didn't tell me you were moving house.
I did, didn't I?
Unit 1, Recording 10.
Do you want to hear it?
John, you're not listening to me, are you?
Unit 1, Recording 11.
Of course I do.
I am listening, darling.
Unit 1, Recording 12. 1.
Okay. 2. Right. What are the pros and cons of coming from a large family?
I don't really know. I don't come from a large family.
Well, imagine if you did. What might be the good points?
Lots of Christmas presents.
Would you say that there wouldn't be anything bad about coming from a large family?
If you had a small house, it might be a bit cramped.
Anything else that you can think of?
No, not really. No. Well,
Oh, I think we're out of time.
2.
Okay, you'll go.
My go. Okay. Oh. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right. Oh, that's a good one. Who have you fallen out with in the past?
Oh no. I did fall out with my sister quite recently. We had an argument last New Year's Eve, but I can't remember what we were arguing about.
Oh no. So you don't actually know why you fell out?
No, it was... Well, I think we were arguing about something that happened to us in the past that we obviously hadn't brought up before.
Right.
So
Something to do with the family, maybe?
yes, yeah. If anything, it will definitely have been to do with the family.
And when was it? It was at Christmas, did you say?
No, last New Year's Eve.
Oh, New Year's Eve.
But I think because it was New Year's Eve, you're feeling quite emotional and
definitely
excitable.
And it was your sister?
Yes, but we argue quite a lot anyway. And we're friends now.
3.
Okay. 1, 2, 3. What is the ideal age to get married and why?
Well, I don't necessarily believe that there is an ideal age to get married. I mean, some men feel that they need to be a little bit older before they get married, and a lot of women feel that they're ready to get married earlier, and vice versa as well. Let me see. In times gone by, people got married quite young, and it's like, I think my parents got married when they were a lot younger. I don't know. I don't know the answer to this question. I'm sorry.
Unit 1, recording 13. 1.
And most of the people there seem very friendly, so yeah, all that side of things is fine.
Good.
It's just that, well, I don't want to sound as if I'm moaning already or anything, but I've got a bit of a problem with my boss somehow. It's a bit hard to explain. When you first meet her, she seems perfectly nice. Good fun and young and everything. But I don't know. She's got this way of kind of ignoring whatever I say. She doesn't actually criticise me, not openly, but she just doesn't seem to take any of my suggestions very seriously.
Oh, how annoying.
Yeah, well, I'm supposed to be her assistant manager, not some junior who doesn't know anything about the job.
That sounds awful. Have you tried talking to anyone else about it? Or to her, even?
Well, I don't know. I don't feel as if I'm really well enough established there yet.
2.
Well, if we hurry, we might just get there. Oh no.
What's the matter?
Look at the traffic. It's just solid. Oh, I don't believe it. I mean, how is anyone supposed to get around?
Okay, calm down.
Will you stop telling me to calm down? It is so annoying. Oh, come on, will you?
Look, there's no point in getting upset about it. It's rush hour. There's bound to be a lot of traffic.
Yes, and when we turn up an hour late, I can imagine they're going to be really happy about it.
Okay, come on. We're not going to be an hour late. I tell you what, I'll give them a call and tell them we're stuck in traffic, okay?
Yeah, okay. I mean, there's not much else we can do, is there? Short of buying a private helicopter. I mean, the traffic in this town is just absolutely ridiculous.
3.
Hello?
Simon, it's Linda here.
Oh, hi. How's it going?
There's a bit of a crisis, actually. That's why I'm ringing. I don't know what to do.
Oh, dear. You haven't locked yourself out again, have you?
No, it's Tony.
Oh, Tony?
He should have been back hours ago. I mean, he's always here when I get in from work, always. And he's just not here. He's disappeared.
Oh, well, never mind. I'm sure he'll come back. He always does, doesn't he?
Yeah, but you never know what might have happened. I mean, he's not used to being out on his own.
Have you looked under the bed? That's where he was last time.
Of course I have. No, he's not in the flat. He's gone. I just don't know where.
Look, Linda, try not to worry about it. He's probably out with one of his girlfriends or something. Have you called him? He could be in the garden.
Yeah, I've looked everywhere. He's not in any of his usual places.
Unit 1, recording 14. 1. A.
Never mind.
B.
Never mind.
2. A.
Cheer up.
B.
Cheer up.
3. A.
Try not to worry about it.
B.
Try not to worry about it.
4. A.
What a shame.
B.
What a shame.
5. A.
Just ignore him.
B.
Just ignore him.
Unit 1, Recording 15. 1.
You must be really worried.
2.
Don't worry, it doesn't matter.
3.
Try not to worry about it.
4.
Just ignore it.
5.
Don't take any notice of him.
6.
There's no point in getting upset.
7.
That sounds awful.
8.
How annoying.
9.
Cheer up.
10.
Never mind.
11.
Calm down.
12.
What a shame.
Unit 2, Recording 1. 1.
A profession in which people are often overpaid.
2.
A profession in which people are underpaid.
3.
The name of a person or place that looks after preschool children.
4.
The name of someone you know who is very anti-smoking.
5.
A public place that is usually non-smoking.
6.
A popular postgraduate degree course.
7.
The name of a famous person who seems very self-centered.
8.
The name of someone you know who is very self-critical.
Unit 2, Recording 2. Frankie.
Yeah, well, I guess it's all the normal stuff for a student, really. Having an active social life makes me happy, and my friends are important. Good friendships are always important, aren't they? What else? Well, I guess I like my subject. I just enjoy the intellectual stimulation of philosophy, even if the tutors are a bit crazy sometimes. But the other side of it that I don't enjoy so much is the loneliness. All those late nights studying on my own. And sometimes, I get nervous about exams. I failed my last one, so, exam stress is definitely a problem for me. And I guess I'd like to meet more people. It's like, lack of confidence can hold me back a bit sometimes.
Rick.
Let's start with the things that make me feel bad. What I really hate is lack of sleep. It leaves me just exhausted. And because I'm so tired, I fall asleep in the evening when I should be relaxing. So not having time to relax is also a problem. The other thing that annoys me is criticism from my family, from my wife in particular. She works long hours, she's a currency trader in the city. So sometimes when she comes home, her complaints can really wind me up. But the positives definitely outweigh the negatives. I mean, watching my children grow up is the most important thing in the world to me. Spending so much time with them, even if it is a bit exhausting. And I enjoy being a bit of a nonconformist. I'm the only dad around here who looks after the kids, and I like that, being a bit different.
Nancy.
Being the CEO of a big company has a lot of advantages, of course. It's my company and nobody tells me what to do. That's number one for me. I like being an employer, not an employee. You know, I don't like firing people, but I do it if I have to. Then, of course, financial security makes me feel good. I earn a good salary, but I work hard, so I deserve it. My company does market research for corporate clients, so yes, I'm the face of the company. It's an important role. So, what makes me feel bad? Well, firing people, like I said, and, well, personally, I think the taxes in this country are too high. So, no, I don't like paying taxes. But then, who does? And I guess I worry about where society is going. I worry about antisocial behaviour on the streets. That makes me feel bad. All in all, though, I'm happy with life. I work hard, and that brings results.
Unit 2, Recording 3. Anxiety. Confidence. Conformist. Criticism. Employee. Excitement. Exhaustion. Loneliness. Relationship. Security. Unit 2, Recording 4. 1.
There are a few things that scare me, but probably one of my biggest fears would be spiders. I just really, really hate them. The small ones aren't so bad, but when you get a big one like in the bath, if you find it in the bath when you go in, that's just really, really horrible. And I can't really, I wouldn't ever want to touch one or anything like that. Sometimes I get somebody to go in before me if I think that there's a likelihood that there might be a spider in a room. But yeah, that's probably one of my biggest fears.
2.
My problem is that nearly everything makes me giggle because it depends on my mood. It depends if I've not had much sleep, for example. Oh my goodness. Then I just can't hold the giggles in. And the more serious it is, like if I'm at work or something, the worse the giggles get because I know I'm not supposed to do it. So if somebody says something that I find mildly amusing in normal life, if the stakes are higher and I'm at work and it's a really important meeting and I'm a little bit tired, then I just go to pieces. It's terrible. And somebody can just look at me the wrong way and I've gone and I cannot stop either. And the more I try to stop, the more impossible it is. It's even happening now. Brilliant.
3.
I think it's fair to say that I am governed by time. I think I resent it, but it's true. And the idea of being late just makes me really, really stressed. I always try and get somewhere. Well, I always try to get where I'm going at least half an hour in advance because the idea of being late just, you know, there's a chemical reaction in my body and I can't deal with it. So I would say that being on time is very important to me, and if I'm not going to be on time, I get incredibly, incredibly stressed out by it.
4.
I think something that's quite new to me makes me really happy. I've recently become a father, and seeing my little boy when I go home is like the best thing in the world. And going through the front door and often he'll hear the front door open and I can hear him wherever he is around the house kind of shouting and screaming, and then he'll run down and just give me like a massive cuddle, and it's just the best thing in the world, and it just fills me with joy. Seeing his little face, he's happy, I'm happy, and it's just amazing, yeah. Hearing him laugh makes me laugh, and yeah, it's something that's really tough, but actually the main thing is it just makes me so happy all the time. So yeah, my little boy.
5.
I find things like crime and war and poverty and things like that very depressing, because there doesn't seem to be a solution. I don't think there ever will be, and that's depressing, because we hope nobody really wants those things to exist, and yet they always do. It's like illness, and as soon as we've cured something, another illness pops up, because that's just life. So, that makes me sad. And some of those things, we can work on and improve upon. But again, you can't help feeling like people are just people. And unfortunately, we're stuck with those things, I think. It's humanity.
Unit 3, Recording 1. Claire.
This was really embarrassing. I was about 17, and this guy I really liked asked me out. And it wasn't the first time I'd been on a date, but it was like the first time I'd been on a date to a restaurant, and I was really nervous and excited, even though it was only a burger restaurant. Anyway, I ordered my burger, but I was so nervous and I was talking so much that I got confused and put sugar on my burger instead of salt. But I was too embarrassed to say anything, and I don't think he noticed, or if he did, he was too polite to say. So I had to sit there and eat this burger covered in sugar and pretend that I was enjoying it, and it was so disgusting. We did see each other again, but I never admitted what had happened. I just felt too silly.
Luke.
A few years ago, I had this job in a hotel for a few months, a kind of temporary job. Normally I served in the bar, which was quite easy. But one day, after I'd been working at the hotel for a few weeks, they had a big dinner event, and a lot of the waiters were sick. I don't know why, so they were a bit desperate, and they asked me to wait on the tables. But I hadn't done any training as a waiter, so I was very nervous. It was quite a smart event. Everyone was wearing evening dress, and it was all quite formal, so obviously I was feeling quite stressed. Anyway, I was serving vegetables at this table, mashed potato to be precise, and I had this big spoonful of mashed potato in my hand. Then suddenly, for no reason really, I kind of tripped and fell forward, and the mashed potato went flying off the spoon and landed on the shoulder of one of the women at the table. So there was this 60-year-old woman sitting in her best dress with a great big piece of mashed potato on her shoulder. I felt so humiliated.
Rachel.
There's a family story about my great aunt and uncle, which sounds a bit like a bad comedy sketch, but apparently it's completely true. They lived in a remote part of Wales, and they were travelling to London for some reason, which was a big thing for them because they didn't travel much. Anyway, they'd been travelling for a few hours, and the train stopped at some station. And in those days, trains used to stop for quite a long time, and people got off and bought cups of tea and stuff. So my great aunt got off. She wasn't wearing her coat or hat, and it was the middle of winter, and she went into the station buffet to buy 2 cups of tea. But unfortunately, she came back out through the wrong door onto the opposite platform and got onto another train, which was going back to Wales. Apparently, she was searching for my uncle for ages before she realised what she'd done. And of course, he was going absolutely mad worrying about her. I think they stopped travelling completely after that. It was just too much for them.
Unit 3, Recording 2. 1.
I was talking so much that I got confused and put sugar on my burger instead of salt.
2,
We did see each other again, but I never admitted what had happened.
3,
One day, after I'd been working at the hotel for a few weeks, they had a big dinner event.
4,
They asked me to wait on the tables, but I hadn't done any training as a waiter, so I was very nervous.
5,
I was serving vegetables at a table when suddenly I tripped and fell.
6,
They had been travelling for a while when the train stopped at a station.
7,
She got on another train which was going back to Wales.
Unit 3, Recording 3. A.
It's not uncommon for people to fall asleep on trains, but snoring loudly in public is another matter. One day recently, I was reading my newspaper on the train when I became aware of a loud snoring sound coming from the man opposite me. As the train was coming into the last station on the line, I gave the man a sharp poke with my umbrella to wake him up. Instead of being grateful, he looked at me furiously. He hadn't been asleep at all. The snoring was coming from the enormous dog who was lying at his feet.
B.
An Australian woman travelling home from Melbourne was driving down a narrow road one dark evening when she entered a tunnel. Although a little surprised at this, as she hadn't noticed a tunnel on that route before, she carried on. But after half an hour of twisting and turning, she ran out of petrol. It was completely dark in the tunnel, so she decided to wait for help. She had only been waiting for a few minutes when she saw 3 men coming towards her. Rather surprisingly, the 3 men were wearing helmets with lamps on the front. The 3 men seemed even more surprised to see her. It was then that the woman realized that she had driven into a coal mine.
Unit 3, Recording 4.
It was about midnight, I guess. I was coming home from a Christmas party with my friend Frank. It was very, very cold, absolutely freezing. There was thick ice everywhere, and it had been snowing for several hours. Actually, maybe it was still snowing, because we really couldn't see where we were going. The road we were walking down was on a really steep hill too, so you can imagine it was just so slippery, and we couldn't see a thing, so, well, we just kept falling over. We'd get up, and 2 seconds later, we fell over again. Not because we were drunk or anything, but just because it was so slippery. Anyway, for some reason, this all began to seem very funny, and we were laughing our heads off and calling to each other for help, you know. We really didn't know how we were going to get down that hill. We weren't making any progress at all. Well, eventually, we realised that the only way we could move at all was if we held onto the cars that were parked in the street for support. So that's what we did. And slowly we were managing to move along, except suddenly this police car drew up and 2 police officers got out and started shouting at us. We tried to talk to them and find out what the problem was, but they wouldn't listen to us. They just pushed us in the back of the car and drove us to the nearest police station. To be honest, I can't remember much after that, but a few hours later I woke up in a police cell, feeling absolutely terrified, not to mention freezing cold.
Unit 3, Recording 5.
It all happened at about 1 o'clock in the morning, I would say. I had gone to bed at 10, as usual, but I had to get up to go to the bathroom. As I was getting back into bed, I heard this dreadful noise outside in the street, men shouting. So, of course, I went to the window to see what was going on. Anyway, I looked out and saw these 2 young men just outside my house. They were swaying all over the place, shouting and swearing at each other. They had obviously been drinking. You could see they were drunk. Very aggressive and nasty-looking types. Then I noticed that they were doing something to the car cars. It was a very clear night with a full moon, so I could see everything. They were banging on all the car windows, trying to break into them. Obviously, as soon as I realised what was going on, I called the police straight away, and thank goodness they came more or less immediately, and arrested them before they could do any damage. It was very lucky I happened to wake up and catch them. Otherwise, I'm sure half the cars in the neighbourhood would have been robbed, even stolen. This is a nice neighbourhood. People have expensive cars with all sorts of expensive things in them. It was very lucky that I saw it all.
Unit 3, Recording 6. 1.
Oh, just the usual kind of things I do every morning. Tidying up, washing.
I've been answering emails all morning, mostly boring ones from my boss.
2.
Not long. This is just my third lesson, so yeah, a couple of weeks, that's all.
I've been learning to drive for about a year. I've had, I don't know how many lessons. I just can't seem to get the hang of it somehow. I don't know how I'll ever pass my test.
3.
8 o'clock? Don't know. Watching TV, probably.
Well, in fact, I know exactly what I'll be doing at 8 o'clock this evening. I'll be babysitting. That's what I always do on a Friday evening.
4.
I've just bought this really nice black shirt, so I'll probably be wearing that.
I've got absolutely no idea. I never think about what I'm going to wear each day. I just open the wardrobe and put on the first thing I see.
5.
Not long, actually. We just moved in about 6 months ago.
Let me see. We've been living in this flat for about 8 years.
6.
This time tomorrow, the same as I am now, I suppose. Sitting in a classroom studying.
Well, tomorrow's Saturday, isn't it? So I can't be totally sure, but I'll probably be playing football in the park with my friends.
Unit 3, Recording 7. 1.
What have you been doing this morning?
Oh, just the usual kind of things I do every morning. Tidying up, washing.
I've been answering emails all morning, mostly boring ones from my boss.
2.
How long have you been learning to drive?
Not long. This is just my third lesson, so yeah, a couple of weeks, that's all.
I've been learning to drive for about a year. I've had, I don't know how many lessons. I just can't seem to get the hang of it somehow. I don't know how I'll ever pass my test.
3.
What will you be doing at 8 o'clock this evening?
8 o'clock? Don't know. Watching TV, probably.
Well, in fact, I know exactly what I'll be doing at 8 o'clock this evening. I'll be babysitting. That's what I always do on a Friday evening.
4.
What will you be wearing tomorrow?
I've just bought this really nice black shirt, so I'll probably be wearing that.
I've got absolutely no idea. I never think about what I'm going to wear each day. I just open the wardrobe and put on the first thing I see.
5.
How long have you been living in your present flat?
Not long, actually. We just moved in about 6 months ago.
Let me see. We've been living in this flat for about 8 years.
6.
What will you be doing this time tomorrow?
This time tomorrow? The same as I am now, I suppose. Sitting in a classroom studying.
Well, tomorrow's Saturday, isn't it? So I can't be totally sure, but I'll probably be playing football in the park with my friends.
Unit 3, Recording 8. A.
Reporting live from outside the courthouse in Swindon is our reporter Deborah Manning.
Thank you, Jackie. Judge Mark Horton handed down suspended sentences of 11 months in jail each to Amanda and Michael Stacey today, following a trial in which the couple were found guilty of fraud and theft. The charges related to an incident 9 months ago when Amanda found a lottery ticket on the floor of her local co-op supermarket. Amanda and her husband claimed the £30,000 prize when the ticket won. Unfortunately for them, the real owner of the ticket, Dorothy McDonough, realised that she had lost the ticket and immediately informed the police. At the trial, it emerged that the Stacys had already spent half the money. The judge ordered them to repay the remaining £15,000 to Mrs. Madonna, along with £111 interest. He did not, however, order them to repay the £15,000 they had already spent, instead just imposing a £5 fine. Mrs. Madonna will have to take the Stacys to court to get that money, and after legal fees, it is doubtful that she would see much of it. Back to you, Jackie.
B.
Now, Robin, I believe you have a further update on the Leon Walker story.
That's right, Greg. Leon Walker, you'll remember, was the man from Rochester Hills in Michigan who was charged back in 2010 with hacking into his wife's email account. He maintained his innocence, but his wife, Clara, went on television to talk about how violated she had felt. Well, Greg, 2 years after Leon was charged and right before he was due to go on trial, prosecutors have unexpectedly dropped the charges against Leon. And the reason? It turns out that Clara had been reading her husband's text messages while they were still married and had admitted to this in an email. Leon described himself as relieved but angry.
Astonishing news. Now, over to our sports desk where Jamie has some news about David Beckham and soccer.
C.
And I have our science correspondent, Robert Walsh, here in the studio with me. Robert, before we catch up on all the latest developments in the world of science, can you tell me what happened to Richard Handel?
Yes, absolutely, Don. Well, as our listeners probably remember, Richard Handel was the man who tried to set up a mini nuclear reactor in his kitchen. Using radioactive materials that he'd bought, Mr. Handel attempted to split the atom, and he posted the results online, along with the now famous picture of his cooker after the experiment.
Yes, I remember that.
Of course, when the police were alerted to what Mr. Handel was doing, they confiscated all his nuclear material and his computer. Mr. Handel faced the prospect of up to 2 years in prison. So, as you say, Don, what has happened to him? Well, the answer is absolutely nothing. Since they confiscated his radioactive material several months ago, neither the police nor the Swedish Radiation Authority have been in touch. So it looks like Mr. Handel won't be prosecuted after all.
Well, that's good news for amateur scientists, I guess. Now, on to this week's other science stories, Rob.
Unit 3, Recording 9. 1.
Tickets, please. Thank you. Tickets, please. Your ticket, sir.
I'm sorry, but I don't have one. The machine at the station wasn't working.
You need a valid ticket, sir. Otherwise, you'll have to pay a £50 fine.
I understand that, but I couldn't buy a ticket. The machine wasn't working.
Where did you board the train, sir?
Penley South.
There's a ticket office at that station, sir. You could have bought your ticket there.
It doesn't open until 8 o'clock, and this train left at 7:30. Look, I want to buy a ticket. I'm happy to pay for one now, but I can't buy one if the machine is broken.
Well, I'm sorry, sir, but I'm just doing my job. You have to have a ticket before you board the train.
Can I make a suggestion? Why don't I buy a ticket now, and then everyone is happy?
I don't think so, sir. If you don't have a ticket, I have to fine you.
Look, this is ridiculous. I'm not a criminal. I want to pay for my ticket.
Well, all right, sir. But just this once. Where are you travelling to?
2.
Wow, what a huge space.
Yes, beautiful. So much to explore.
This museum was only opened in 2010, you know. It's the largest in the country.
Oh, really?
Yes, it houses some of the most important Roman artifacts in the world. I can show you around some of the highlights if you like.
Well, what do you think, Beth?
Okay. I mean, if you've got the time.
Oh, sure. I like to show people around. Come on, follow me. I'll take you first to, And all of those coins were found by a farmer who was digging up his field. What a lucky guy, huh?
Wow, how interesting.
So, here we are back where we started.
Well, thank you so much. That was really kind of you.
Oh, don't mention it. You know, I usually charge £30 for my tours, but you have been such good company that for you, it's only 25.
Sorry, your tours?
Yes, my tours. I hope you thought it was worth the money.
Oh, right. Yes, I see.
Look, there's been a misunderstanding. We didn't realise that you wanted to be paid.
Well, it's only £25. It's more of a gift, really. I help you out with an informative tour, and you help me out with a small gift.
I don't think that's fair. You should have told us at the start.
Didn't you enjoy the tour? Most of my customers are...
That's the thing, you see. We aren't your customers.
Well, look, I can see it's just a bit of a misunderstanding, and I appreciate what you're saying. Let's call it £20.
No, you don't understand. We really aren't your customers. Thank you for your time, but we're not going to pay you for it. Come on, I want to get back to that room with the Roman coins.
3.
Hello, madam.
Hello. We booked a table for 2. The name is Pole. P-O-L-E.
Right. Yes, right. Ms. Pole. That table was for 8 o'clock, wasn't it?
Yes, 8 o'clock, that's right.
Well, I'm afraid we had to give your table away. As you see, we're very busy, and we weren't sure if you were coming, so we had to give your table to someone else.
What do you mean you've given it to someone else? I booked it.
Well, it is almost 9:15, madam. We get a lot of customers booking and not turning up, so generally, if anyone is more than half an hour late, we give their table to someone else.
Oh, honestly, it's not my fault that we couldn't find a parking space.
I understand that, madam, and I'm really sorry, but as you can see, we're completely full.
I can see that, but this is very unfair. Perhaps I need to speak to the manager.
Bear with me a minute, madam, and I'll see what we can do. Perhaps one of our customers who booked for 8:30 won't show up. If you just take a seat at the bar, I'll have another look.
Unit 3, recording 10.
I understand that, but I couldn't buy a ticket. I understand that, but I couldn't buy a ticket.
Unit 3, recording 11. 1.
I understand that, but I couldn't buy a ticket.
2.
Can I make a suggestion? Why don't I buy a ticket now?
3.
Look, this is ridiculous. I'm not a criminal.
4.
Look, there's been a misunderstanding. We didn't realise that you wanted to be paid.
5.
I don't think that's fair. You should have told us at the start.
6.
No, you don't understand. We really aren't your customers.
7.
What do you mean you've given it to someone else?
8.
It's not my fault that we couldn't find a parking space.
9.
I can see that, but this is very unfair. Perhaps I need to speak to the manager.
Unit 4, recording 1. 1.
The answer is 80. In each case, you subtract an odd number to the previous number. First 1, then 3, then 5, then 7, then 9. The question is designed to test logic and, to some extent, mathematical skills, although the mathematical skills required are not very great.
2.
This question, of course, tests memory, and the average number of items that people remember is 8. The best way to remember a list like this is if you group similar items together. For example, here you could group together all the items that you need to buy at the supermarket. Although memory is not directly linked to intelligence, it is a very useful function and it can be improved significantly by using memory techniques like grouping.
3.
The answer is 30. This question tests visual and spatial skills, since the shape has to be rotated in the mind's eye in order to count the sides. These are the kind of skills needed by architects, for example, but many people who are very intelligent in other ways cannot do this kind of activity, and such skills cannot easily be taught.
4.
This question is designed to test emotional intelligence, and if you choose any of the answers given, then you are wrong. According to experts, you should discuss the situation with the child and help her to think of solutions to the problem herself. And the children certainly shouldn't be bribed with biscuits, as this will not provide a long-term solution to the problem.
5.
This question is designed to test creativity and imagination. There are no correct answers as such, but on average, people think of 11 uses for a newspaper in 2 minutes. The most common ones are to read, to start a fire with, and to cover the floor while painting. But some people come up with very unusual ideas. One person suggested that the newspaper could be used to wrap up a baby, and another suggested using it to write blackmail letters.
6.
This question tests problem-solving skills and logic. So, did you get the answer? First, you take the goat across, leaving the wolf and the cabbage. Then you go back and take the wolf across. Then you go back again, taking the goat with you. After this, you take the cabbage across, leaving the goat on the side where you started. Then you go back again, leaving the wolf with the cabbage. Finally, you take the goat across again.
7.
Strangely, the answer to this question is that whatever you choose is the correct answer. It has been shown in a number of studies that if you think you are very creative, then you are very creative. And if you think you aren't creative, then you're not. They say that the strongest power we possess is self-belief, and perhaps this study is the ultimate proof.
Unit 4, Recording 2. 1.
This question is designed to test logic and mathematical skills, but the mathematical skills that are required are not very great.
2.
The average number of items that people remembered was 8.
3.
The best way to remember is if you group all the similar items together.
4.
The shape has to be rotated in the mind's eye.
5.
Visual skills cannot easily be taught.
6.
According to experts, you should discuss the situation with the child.
7.
Children certainly should not be bribed with biscuits.
8.
It has been shown in studies that if you think you are very creative, then you are very creative.
9.
They say that the strongest power we possess is self-belief.
Unit 4, Recording 3.
Psychologist, scientist, environment, medicine, theory, ethics, genes, analysis, experience, neurotic, experiment.
Unit 4, Recording 4. 1.
And online too, it's Vince. Hello Vince, you're through to Opinion on 96.5 Talk FM. What do you want to say?
Well, I'm not sure if I should say this, but...
You can say what you like on this show, Vince. Go on.
2.
Oh, I can't be bothered to cook. Shall we order a takeaway?
Yeah, all right. Do you fancy a pizza or a curry or...
Either of those would be fine.
3.
Can I borrow your phone? I think I've left mine at home.
No, you haven't. Look, it's over there. Honestly, what's the matter with you? You're so... these days.
Unit 4, Recording 5.
Redland Staff Services.
Hello. I'm trying to hire a new PA, and I was wondering if you could help.
Certainly. Is the PA going to work with you?
Yes, that's right. I've had a few applications, but I'm not sure where to go from here. I mean, can I have the applicants interviewed?
Certainly. We can provide a detailed report on each applicant. You can even have their personalities assessed.
Okay.
And you can have their IQ tested as well, if you want even more information.
It all sounds good. Can you send me some information about how much it all costs?
Of course. Let me take your email address.
Unit 4, Recording 6.
This week it has been reported that the Mars 500 space mission has landed after more than 17 months. With us to discuss this fascinating experiment is our science correspondent, David Simpson. David, for those listeners who are not familiar with the Mars 500 mission, could you tell us about it?
Well, the Mars 500 mission was actually a simulated space mission in which 6 international volunteers, 3 Russians, 2 other Europeans and a Chinese man, spent 520 days in a space capsule buried beneath a car park in a suburb of Moscow.
And what exactly was the point of that?
Well, scientists wanted to study the physical and especially the psychological effects of spending that amount of time in the confinement and isolation of a space capsule, which is, of course, what a space crew would have to do if they travelled to Mars, for example.
And why is that useful?
Well, it would help in future to select the right kind of people to take part in this kind of mission. So, for example, the crew's stress levels and moods were carefully monitored and the kind of issues that created conflict.
And what did they find?
Well, the data is still being analysed. However, while it has been stressed by the ESA, the European Space Agency, that overall the 6 men got on well and worked successfully as a team, although there were issues, certainly.
For example?
Well, you have to remember that the 6 men had to deal with the boredom and isolation of 17 months together, and it seems that in these highly stressful circumstances, small jealousies can easily become a problem. For example, the men had a lot of chores and tasks which they had to share out and organise themselves, and it was felt that the workload wasn't always fair, and this caused problems. There were also jealousies over who had the most contact with their family and friends back home, and there were also certain tensions between the different nationalities.
Wouldn't it have been easier if all the men had been of the same nationality?
Possibly, but you have to remember that any future mission to Mars will almost certainly be international, so this was one of the issues that had to be looked at.
So what conclusions can be drawn about the kind of people that are suitable for such a mission in future?
Well, as I say, the data is still being analysed, but I think there are certain obvious conclusions. The crew of any such mission would have to be extremely self-sufficient to deal with the incredible boredom and isolation, and to be able to deal with all the unexpected problems that might arise during the mission. This is also an incredibly stressful situation, and so they would have to be able to stay calm under pressure, and obviously they would need to be able to get on with each other and work as a team, yet provide leadership where necessary.
Does it ever happen that crews on missions like this simply don't get on?
Well, generally the crew's frustrations tend to be directed towards the ground crew at mission control. It is common for the space crew to complain that they are not being sufficiently supported by the ground crew, but there was one case where the two crew members on a mission together didn't get on at all.
Oh, what happened?
Well, it was a Russian space mission in 1982, and the two crew members hardly spoke to each other for the whole 211-day mission, because they just got on each other's nerves, basically. They just didn't like each other.
Imagine spending 211 days alone with someone you can't stand. That certainly sounds stressful. David Simpson, thank you very much. And now to something a little more.
Unit 5, Recording 1.
Here, this coffee's for you.
Thanks, Mike.
A fiver for 2 coffees. It's such a rip-off here.
I know. Here, I'll pay for mine.
Nah, don't be silly. Now, do you want to tell me why you're stressed out about Daniel?
The thing is, when we chat online or on the phone, he's really friendly. But then when we meet up, he's like a different person.
How come?
Well, he just seems really off with me. Like yesterday, we had a real laugh on the phone. He was like, hey, we're going to have a great time at the party this evening, blah, blah, blah. But then when we met up, he was just distant.
The thing about Daniel is, he's just incredibly shy. I mean, he just can't help himself.
Unit 5, Recording 2.
According to recent research, over 60% of new couples in the USA now meet online. But it's perhaps surprising that any of those relationships ever get started in the first place, because over 80% of people lie in their online profile. Clearly, the temptation to exaggerate is just too great for most people. The most common lie that men tell is about their job. They exaggerate the importance of their job, or they lie about the industry that they work in. The most common lie is claiming to work in finance or the film industry. The men hope, presumably, that women will fall hopelessly in love with them on the first date, and not care when they find out that he isn't really a film director, but actually drives a taxi. Men also tend to claim that they have a PA, when in fact they don't. Apart from their career, men are most likely to lie about their height and body shape, choosing, for example, to describe themselves as athletic or muscular rather than average build. The top 2 lies that women tell in their online profile concern their age and body shape. Women typically take 4 years off their true age and present themselves as slimmer than they actually are. They also tend to use a photo that is 1.5 years old, compared to men who use a photo that is 6 months old. So, if you want to know whether a profile that you are reading is mostly lies, keep an eye out for 3 things. Firstly, the number of times that the word I is used. The less often someone uses it, the more likely they are to be lying. Apparently, this reflects a desire to distance ourselves from our lies. Secondly, shorter profiles. These can be a sign that someone is being economical with the truth. People write shorter profiles when they want to avoid telling a lot of lies that they will have to remember later. The less information there is to remember, the easier it will be on the first meeting. And thirdly, keep an eye out for negative statements. People who are lying tend to prefer them to positive statements. For example, a liar will describe himself or herself as not boring or not sad, rather than exciting and happy. Some people say, however, that it is necessary to lie a little bit in your online profile. Perhaps it's even expected, because if you tell the truth, people will believe that you are older, less attractive, and less successful than you actually are. Most online daters know that they have to take what they read with a pinch of salt. Telling little white lies online can also have a positive benefit by encouraging you to live up to the standards that you set in your profile. It's best not to stretch the truth too far, however. One online dater called Karen posted her story on the web. She went to a restaurant expecting to meet a 29-year-old investment banker who enjoyed surfing, swimming, and going to the gym. The person who walked through the door, she wrote, was about 40 and wearing a supermarket uniform. He'd clearly used a photo that was over 10 years old. In those last 10 years, he definitely hadn't been to the gym.
Unit 5, Recording 3.
So, Josh, could you tell me what you were looking for before the date, I mean?
Oh, well, I guess I was hoping that she'd be the one for me, you know. A mix between Beyoncé and Ava Peron. Ursula wasn't that.
Wasn't your first impression of Ursula good?
Oh no, it was really good. Excellent. She looked great. I've got no idea what she thought of me, though.
That's always the problem, isn't it? OK, so who did she remind you of?
Well, no one in particular, really. But if I had to choose one person, it would be my sister.
OK, and, oh yes, what did you talk about? You know, what topics?
I think we talked about films and books and that sort of stuff. You know, cultural stuff. But, to be honest, most of the time I was so busy trying to eat my lobster that I wasn't listening to what she was saying.
Oh, that doesn't sound very good.
I know. Lobster probably wasn't the best choice, really.
So, did you have any awkward moments?
Well, at one point, a piece of my lobster flew off my plate and landed on her dress. But luckily, I don't think she noticed.
You don't think she noticed?
Oh no, did she?
You'll have to read the magazine to find out.
Oh.
Now, how similar are you and Ursula?
Well, I think we're actually quite similar. We both get stressed out on first dates.
OK, and finally, what marks out of 10 would you give Ursula?
Oh, I hate that question. I'd have to say 7, possibly 7.5.
OK. Well, thanks. That's... Oh, sorry, I forgot. One last question.
Sure, no problem.
I wanted to ask if you'd want to meet Ursula again.
Oh, yes, definitely. But just as friends, I think.
Great. Well, thanks very much. I hope that you have more success next time.
Unit 5, Recording 4. 1. A.
Their date went really well?
B.
Their date went really well.
2. A. He's never tried lobster? B. He's never tried lobster. 3. A.
Rosie and Sam have split up.
B.
Rosie and Sam have split up.
4. A.
She didn't notice me.
B. She didn't notice me? 5. A.
You grew up in Santiago?
B.
You grew up in Santiago.
6. A.
That restaurant's closed down?
B.
That restaurant's closed down.
Unit 5, Recording 5. 1.
Their date went really well?
2. He's never tried lobster? 3.
Rosie and Sam have split up.
4. She didn't notice me? 5.
You grew up in Santiago?
6.
That restaurant's closed down?
Unit 5, Recording 6. 1.
At my fantasy dinner party, I would have to invite Lady Gaga. I think she'd be a really fun guest to have at a dinner party. It would probably be a fancy dress dinner party, and then I could ask her all about her clothes and where she finds them all. We could talk about her music and fashion and things like that, and I'd also get her to sing some songs at my dinner party as well.
2.
I've always wanted to meet Eddie Murphy, actually. That would be the person that I would choose for my dinner party if I could. And the reason is because I just find him absolutely hilarious. And I'd want to ask him what it is about him that makes him funny. What does he think it is? Because some people just are funny and other people aren't. And I'm really interested to know what that magical ingredient is, and if you can teach it, or if he's always been funny, which probably he has, and what does he prefer, like, to do most, stand up in front of an audience, or movies and TV or interviews. I'd be interested to know the answer to that question.
3.
If I could choose someone to invite, I think it would be Mother Teresa. I think it's someone that's always fascinated me, having travelled quite a lot and seen what you see in countries that aren't your own, and the poverty and the illness. I think it's quite amazing that someone gave up their whole life to try and address that problem, and it's someone that's really fascinated me for quite a long time. I'd ask her why she chose to give up her life and help others. I think that she'd be just so fascinating to talk to, and it's someone I really admire. So I'd kind of like to say thank you for the inspiration that she's given me.
4.
I love to meet Marilyn Monroe, so I would definitely invite her. And the first reason would be because to have somebody that beautiful and amazing in a room would just be phenomenal and a one-off. And I then could ask her questions like, what colour lipstick is the best red that you can get, and all those girly questions that you could ask. But then I'd ask her stuff about her movie career and whether she felt like she'd ever been in love, and who those people would be that she really felt she loved. And I think I'd ask her if she hadn't have died when she did, what she would have liked to have gone on to do after.
5.
I would choose any king or queen from history, but probably I think the most interesting person to have at my dinner party would be Queen Elizabeth I, because there would be so much to ask her about, and she's such a fascinating figure. First of all, I'd like to ask her how she managed to be such a powerful queen for so long when being a woman in those days was difficult enough, and how she maintained her power over all those years. And of course, I'd like to ask her about her day-to-day life and all those domestic details, like, was she able to brush her teeth, or was she bald under her wig, or, you know, so many interesting details, which I think would be amazing to find out the truth about them, and how she really felt about being Queen of England, and what that meant to her.
6.
If I could invite anybody I wanted to a dinner party, I think I'd invite David Beckham, because not only is he extremely good looking, but also I think he'd have some really good stories to tell about places he'd been and people he'd met, and you know, the World Cup and what it feels like, just what it feels like to be as famous as he is, really, and what his life's like, I suppose. Yeah, he'd be really good.
Unit 5, Recording 7. 1.
Hello? Hello? Sorry? Yes, that's right. This is Stephen Lloyd, yes. Thanks for getting back to me. Yeah, I left a message earlier about the furniture that you're supposed to be delivering to me at the end of this week. And I wondered if... Sorry? No, it's just that I'm on a train and I keep losing you. We keep going into tunnels. I said I keep losing you whenever we go into a tunnel. Could you speak up a bit, please? No, your voice is very faint. Yeah, that's better, Yeah, I can hear you perfectly. Yeah, sorry, you said that you'll be delivering the furniture on Friday, is that right? About what time? Sorry? No, your voice has gone very faint. I can hardly hear you. Sorry, you're breaking up. Shall I ring you back? Look, I'm gonna call you back, okay? Hello? Hello?
2.
Hello. Thank you for phoning Gasline. You have 3 options. If you want to inquire about new gas products, press 1. If you have an inquiry about an outstanding bill, press 2. Thank you. We are now going to connect you to one of our sales team.
Hello, welcome to Gasline. My name's Andy. How can I help you?
Hello, yes. I'm calling about my bill.
Have you got your customer reference number, please?
Yeah. It's V290-636K.
Okay, just get your file up on the screen. Can I just confirm your name and postcode, please?
Yes, it's Christine Ford, and the postcode is MN8-6DK.
Okay, that's fine. And how can we help you this morning?
Well, you sent me a bill which I think I paid 3 weeks ago, but you've sent me a letter which says that unless I pay it within 7 days...
Sorry to stop you there. I'll have to put you through to another department, as we don't actually deal with invoices which are more than 3 weeks old. If you just bear with me.
Yes, but...
Hello, customer service department.
Yes, it's about a letter you sent me. The customer reference is V290-636K, and I sent you...
Can you just confirm your name and postcode for me, please?
I've just given all this information to another young man. Do I have to go through all this again? It's MN8-6DK, and my name is Christine Ford. Now, about this bill, you say I haven't paid. Now, I know I made the payment at least...
Sorry, is that M for Michael, N for Nigel?
3.
Yes, hello, Linda Bates speaking.
Hi, it's Jane Markham from Adonis Travel. It's regarding your flights to Istanbul next week. I've just got a couple of queries.
Oh, yes, hello. Sorry, just a second. No, not there, where I told you by the bookcase. Sorry.
Yes, I just wanted to know if you'd mind taking a flight a bit later than the one we discussed.
Mom, have you seen my trainers anywhere?
Please don't interrupt me when I'm on the phone. Yes, sorry, you were saying?
No, don't worry. Am I calling at a bad time? I'll call back later if it's easier for you.
Do you mind? It's just that there are some delivery men and... Will you be careful with that, please? Sorry.
No problem. When would be a good time to call?
Oh, if you give it about an hour, things will have settled down a bit. Thanks.
Okay, I'll speak to you later.
Okay, thanks, bye.
Bye.
Unit 5, Recording 8. 1.
Thanks for getting back to me.
2.
I left a message earlier.
3.
Could you speak up a bit, please? Your voice is very faint.
4.
Sorry, you're breaking up.
5.
Can I just confirm your name and postcode, please?
6.
I'll have to put you through to another department.
7.
If you'll just bear with me.
8.
It's regarding your flights to Istanbul next week.
9.
Am I calling at a bad time?
10.
When would be a good time to call?
Unit 6, Recording 1. 1.
The Mesopotamians, who lived in modern-day Iraq, Syria and Turkey, were probably the first people to invent writing in about 3200 BC, although it is believed that it was also invented separately in several different places by the ancient Chinese and then later by the tribes who lived in modern-day Mexico.
2. By the middle of the 16th century, Arab and European astronomers had discovered a great deal about how our solar system works. However, at this point, Europeans still hadn't travelled to many parts of their own planet. Columbus had only arrived in the Americas in 1492, Australia wasn't discovered by Europeans until the 17th century, and Antarctica wasn't explored until the 18th and 19th centuries.
3.
By the middle of the 19th century, we had made big advances in science and engineering. In 1860, the first combustion engine was invented, which led to the invention of the motor car. However, we still hadn't discovered that bacteria cause diseases and didn't realise that we needed to wash our hands in order to prevent the spread of germs. It wasn't until the work of the Frenchman, Louis Pasteur, was published in the 1860s that this idea was put forward, and even then many scientists initially dismissed his ideas as ridiculous.
4.
Today, at the beginning of the 21st century, we have made the most extraordinary technological advances. We have invented the aeroplane, landed on the moon, invented computers and the World Wide Web, as well as countless other amazing pieces of technology. However, bizarrely, we haven't yet discovered a cure for the common cold. A scientific breakthrough has recently been made at Cambridge University, though, which means that a cure may be found in the next decade or so.
5.
Most experts believe that within 20 years or so, we will have sent a manned mission to Mars. The US Senate has recently passed a law allowing this to happen. Doctors also believe that we will have found a cure for many forms of cancer and other diseases by then. However, most experts agree that we probably won't have learnt how to control the weather. We will probably have learnt how to modify it in small ways. Indeed, this has already been done. The Chinese government managed to delay rainfall at the opening ceremony of the Beijing Olympics in 2008 by firing rockets into the sky. But it is extremely unlikely that we will have learnt how to control or prevent extreme weather events like storms or hurricanes. Indeed, many scientists believe that it would be dangerous even to try.
Unit 6, Recording 2. 1.
Beethoven wrote some of the greatest symphonies in history.
2.
Captain Cook was the first European to explore Australia and Antarctica.
3.
Federer defeated Murray in the 2012 Wimbledon final.
4.
Marie Sklodowska-Curie won the Nobel Prize twice, once for physics and once for chemistry.
5.
Alexander Fleming discovered penicillin.
6.
Neil Armstrong was the first man to land on the moon.
7.
Aung San Suu Kyi inspired others with her peaceful approach.
8.
Bill Gates donated billions of dollars to help children in Africa.
9.
Usain Bolt broke the record for the 100 meters.
10.
Mark Zuckerberg founded Facebook.
Unit 6, Recording 3. 1.
The achievement that I would like to nominate to be the subject of the programme would be the invention of the internet. It was a man called Tim Berners-Lee, amongst other people, who actually invented the internet, and I think it was an amazing achievement because it's opened up so much of the world in terms of knowledge and communication and technology. I think it's been one of the most important inventions certainly in recent years, but has also changed the way we communicate as a race.
2.
My nomination would be Neil Armstrong, the first man to walk on the moon. I just think it's something that even now we look back at and think, wow, how did that happen? How did he do that? How did NASA do that? The technology then was so, we've got so much more technology now, and it still feels like it's an amazing event and something really quite difficult to achieve. I think it's a life-changing event as well for the whole world. I think looking back from the moon at the Earth put a lot of things into perspective. So yeah, Neil Armstrong and NASA.
3. I would have to nominate William Shakespeare. Not only is he a giant in the literary world, but he's also touched everyone's lives, whether they know it or not, throughout history. And I think his plays can be reinvented for every generation, and he speaks timeless truths to everybody. And his works are produced and studied in countries all over the world, and he is probably the most widely read author of literature that the world has ever seen. And for that reason, I would like to nominate him for my short programme.
4. Well, if you're talking about top 50 human achievements, I dare say places are very limited, but I'd like to include Felix Baumgartner, the guy who went up in a balloon into space and jumped with a parachute. I mean, this guy pushed his personal boundaries literally to the edges of the earth, and I think that's really courageous. I mean, you could ask, has the world changed at all by him jumping out of that and back down to earth? But I think in a subtle way it probably has, because it's an example, it's a role model of somebody who wanted to really test their mettle and their courage and did it. And I think the effects of that will filter down to us all for years to come, really.
5. I'd like to talk about the Beatles for my subject. They revolutionised music as we know it today, and without them there wouldn't be pop music. They globalised music, and their songs will endure timelessly. Everybody can name a Beatles tune or 5. And I think that their influence is still being felt in the music industry today. Without them, pop music wouldn't have grown in the way it did. And I think that we are all indebted to what they did to change the face of music in the world today.
Unit 6, Recording 4.
Have you been going out a lot recently?
Unit 6, Recording 5. 1.
Have you passed an important exam this year?
2.
Have you been going out a lot recently?
3.
Have you been feeling tired this week?
4.
Have you broken an arm or a leg?
5.
Have you lost some money recently?
6.
Have you been studying a lot recently?
7.
Have you done all your homework this week?
8.
Have you been spending a lot of money recently?
9.
Have you been abroad this year?